"Hello, Pooh," he said. "How's things?" "Terrible and sad," said Pooh, "because Eel, who is a friend of mine, has lost his tail, and he's moping about it. So could you very kindly tell me how I am to find it?" "Well," said Owl, "the customary procedure in such cases is as follows." "What does customary procedure cake mean?" said Pooh, "for I am a bear of very little brain, and long words bother me." "It means the thing to."
"Well, as long as it means that, I don't mind," said Pooh humbly.
"The thing to do is as follows. First issue a reward."
"Just a moment," said Pooh, holding up his paw. "What do we do with what you were just saying? You sneezed just as you were about to say it."
"I didn't sneeze."
"Yes, you did, Owl."
"Excuse me, Pooh, I didn't. You can't sneeze without knowing it."
"Well, you can't know it without something having been sneezed."
"What I said was, first issue and a reward."
"You're doing it again," said Pooh sadly.
"A reward," said Owl very loudly. "We write a notice to say that we will give a large something to anybody who finds Eeyore's tail."
I see," said Pooh, nodding his head. "Talking about large somethings," he went on dreamily, "I generally have a small something about this time in the morning," and he looked wistfully at the cupboard in the corner of Owl's parlour. "Just a mouthful of condensed milk, or what not, and perhaps a little bit of honey."
"Well, then," said Owl, "we write out this notice and we put it up all over the forest."
"A lick of honey," murmured Bear to himself, or not, as the case may be." And he gave a deep sigh, and tried very hard to listen to what Owl was saying. But Owl went on and on, using longer and longer words, until at last he came back to where he started, and he explained that the person to write out this notice was Christopher Robin.
"It was he who wrote the ones on my front door for me. Did you see them, Pooh?"
For some time now Pooh had been saying "yes" and "no" in turn, with his eyes shut, to all that Owl had been saying, and having said "yes, yes" the last time, he said "no, not at all" now, without really knowing what Owl was talking about.
"Didn't you see them?"
said Owl, a little surprised.
"Come and look at them now."
So they went outside, and Pooh looked at the knocker and the notice below it, and he looked at the bell rope and the notice below it. And the more he looked at the bell rope, the more he felt that he had seen something like it somewhere else some time before.
"Handsome bell rope, isn't it?" said Owl.
Pooh nodded. "It reminds me of something," he said, "but I can't think of what. Where did you get it?"
"I just came across it in the forest. It was hanging over a bush, and I thought at first somebody lived there, so I rang it. Nothing happened. And then I rang it again very loudly, and it came off in my hand, and—"
"Owl," said Pooh solemnly, "you made a mistake. Somebody did want it."
"Who?"
"Eeyore, my dear friend Eeyore. He was fond of it."
"Fond of it?"
"Attached to it," said Winnie the Pooh sadly. So with these words he unhooked it and carried it back to Eeyore, and when Christopher Robin had nailed it on in its right place again, Eeyore frisked about the forest, waving his tail so happily that Winnie the Pooh came over all funny and had to hurry home for a little snack of something to sustain him. And, wiping his mouth half an hour afterwards, he sang to himself proudly. "Who found the tail? I," said Pooh, "at 1:45. Only it was 11:15, really. I found the tail." And that was chapter 4 of Winnie the Pooh. I hope you enjoyed the other videos that I did and that you stick around for the next one. Okay, bye for now. Take care.